been talking with guys. You experienced him in that during the playoffs last year. What do you remember about how he would be on the bench? As guys here have talked about him as sort of like an assistant coach. Was that your recollection?
Yeah. When he was out last year in playoff games, he was very vocal. Much like Steph Curry is now for us this year, and Klay Thompson, veteran guys who care about their teammates, who want them to do well, so they're offering advice or offering counsel. And that's how Kevin was last year, so it doesn't surprise me at all that that's how he is this year as he continues to heal, and he's going to try to help any way he can, I'm sure.
Kenny was just talking about how he blocks out everything this week, doesn't even know what's being talked about. You kind of always seem to know what's going on.
Kenny blocks it out?
Yeah. You seem to always know what's going on. Do you follow stuff just as a fan? You click and refresh this week and see what people are talking about, or you block it out too?
Do you think Kenny was telling the truth? People say that.
People like us.
I read all that stuff. I'm an NBA fan as well as a coach. I want to know what's going on around the league, so I read a lot of this stuff. And given where we are as a team, things can affect our group. So I need to be up to date on what's happening so that I can be aware of how what our players are reading and what they're seeing, because it's not easy to go through trade deadline week as a player. I've been there before. It can be very uncomfortable. So I like to know what's going on so I can at least acknowledge that with the players and chat with them about it.
Coach, teams obviously game plan for opponents that have, I guess, rim protecting big men differently from the way they would another team.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I was saying teams obviously prepare for or game plan for other teams that have rim protecting big men differently than they would another team that doesn't have that type of rim protector. Do you consider, I guess, Jared Allen to be that type of rim protector?
Oh, for sure.
And how do you scout or how do you game plan around that?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be drive and kick. You can't just expect to drive in and lay the ball in at the rim. He's going to block it. He's one of the best in the league protecting the rim. And the way they play him, he's usually in a drop, so he's around the basket. And this is a good test for our young guys because a big part of this season for our team is to try to get these young guys accustomed to what the NBA looks like and feels like with the speed and the length. And so what looks like a layup and what would have been a layup in the Big East or the Big Ten is now a block shot. And so either you got to shoot a floater or you got to move the ball on. And that's the kind of the space and timing and rhythm that players need to feel. But basketball in general, if you can penetrate and move the ball and do that 2 or 3 times, you're going to end up with a better shot anyway.
On that note, what are some of the things that have impressed you most about Eric Pascal so far this season?
I think his confidence. He's a guy who spent the full amount of time in college, which is a rarity these days. So he's mature, he's explosive, he's strong, he's very coachable, and so he's adapted very quickly.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, thanks for
Could you read more about the NBA trade?
Rookie, maybe. Let's go.